Verdichtet nicht! Mein Bart! Mein Bart!
Wie tust du mir? Mein Bart ist auf die Seele!
Ist die Luft rein? Sind wir sicher? Alles klar!
Over a 30-year period, from 1914 to 1945, more than 60 million people will die. In the bloodiest conflict the world has ever seen. But it all began in the slums of Vienna. At age 25, Adolf Hitler is a poor loner and aspiring artist, struggling to survive. Both his parents are dead, leaving Hitler truly alone in the world.
He was a lost soul. He wanted to be an artist, but he couldn't get into the art school, and he ended up living in a flop house.
Left without any means of support, his only way to make money is selling paintings around town for next to nothing.
Hitler didn't have a plan B when he was rejected. He just didn't know what to do, so he started to drift. He had very little money. He was living in a hand-to-mouth existence. In a sense, waiting for something to happen.
Before long, a chance event 450 miles away will change everything. The 28th of June, 1914. Franz Ferdinand, the Archduke of Austria, is visiting Sarajevo when he is assassinated. The assassin's aim is to return parts of the Austro-Hungary Empire to Greater Serbia or Yugoslavia. Within a month, Austria-Hungary declares war on Serbia. This triggers a chain reaction as alliances force the major powers to take sides. Emerging from the tangle, the British Empire, the French Republic, and Russia become known as the Allies. While Austria-Hungary, Germany, and the Ottoman Empire form the Central Powers. This will be the first global war. Men on both sides rush to join the fight. Hitler has so far avoided the draft into the Austrian army. Holding anti-Semitic views, he has no desire to fight for his multicultural homeland.
He's a passionate German patriot, trapped in the multi-ethnic, racially diverse Habsburg Empire. As an Austrian, he's a pan-German.
The Austrian army eventually forces Hitler into conscription.
He tried out for the Austrian army. He failed the physical. He wasn't considered strong enough to carry a rifle.
Free from the Austrian draft, Hitler turns to Germany, a nation he views as racially pure. He is accepted into the German army, who are taking almost anyone, as they work to build the largest fighting force the world has ever seen. Germany has finally given Hitler what he's always wanted: a place to belong.
Being part of the German army in the First World War was something that Hitler deeply loved. There was a flood of patriotism, and Hitler was swept away by this.
Zwei! Drei!
Throughout August of 1914, Hitler trains as a private in the German army.
Well, the German army was considered to be the finest army in the world. It was a massive force, well-equipped, well-trained, and very well led. Being part of the German army was something that Hitler loved.
The structure of training transforms Hitler into a devout German soldier. Hitler joins 1.5 million Germans marching towards the French border and the unified Allied forces. In the history of warfare, armies this large have never met in combat.
When you look at World War I, it's about machine guns and, all of these sorts of new killing mechanisms. It's the beginning of the 20th century as a tech era. This is not men on horseback anymore. This is a motorized war.
The advanced weaponry turns the conflict into a slaughter. 230 men are killed each hour. One death every 15 seconds.
They found that if they dug even shallow trenches and used machine guns, a small number of troops could stop a large attacking force.
It was of the utmost importance that the invaders not be allowed to pass. Thus, the trenches appeared and eventually extended all the way to the North Sea. From October-November 1914, we saw a line of trenches across 435 miles from the North Sea to Switzerland.
The trenches cover 25,000 miles. Laid end to end, they would circle the globe.
Very soon after the war began, both sides realized we can entrench, and the other side can't move us out. They can move us backwards, but only at horrendous cost. And as a result of this, the war just bogged down in the muds of northern France.
Having moved quickly through neutral Belgium, Germany is now stalled in vicious trench warfare with the Allies in northern France.
In the First World War, the east and the north of France were totally devastated. Not only by the trenches, but by the bombings as well. Dozens of French towns and villages don't exist anymore. They were totally destroyed.